folks, I got Father Fish's soil for a planted tank, a natural planted tank. I just put it in the tank. Now I got to get it wet, and we are on the beginning of starting to set up my new Father Fish Oreo Cookie Part 2. So here we are. I've got the creamy middle filling for my Oreo Cookie tank number 2. So I let the Father Fish substrate, the dirt, soak for about 3-4 hours. It's good and saturated now, and now I've capped it with the white sand, and the next thing to do, I got to cap it with my black sand, and then we'll go from there. Alright folks, so now the Oreo cookie substrate is complete. I've got the Father Fish substrate dirt on the bottom. I have the white sand that was originally in this tank in the middle. That's the cookie creamer. And then the top, I capped it off with the black sand that you can see. So now I have Oreo cookie tank number 2. Number 1 is down here, and you can see it's the same setup. Nice thick substrate, same way, nice thick substrate. Now it's a matter of putting some water in here and getting plants put in here and getting things going. We're almost there, brothers. Almost. Alrighty folks, so here is, on the bottom is Oreo cookie number 1, and on the top is the new 29-gallon Oreo cookie number 2. This is the initial setup, initial scape. There'll be more plants added as I get there, but this is just the beginning, and we're letting it get cycled through a sponge filter that's cycled in there already, but we're gonna let her grow and see how we come, and we'll chest water and see when we can start throwing fish in here. Alrighty, so this is the initial setup. Second time around, I guess, because the first time I did it, I set it up outside and used compost, and that was a big mistake. So anyhow, this is a true Father Fish dirted tank with a sand cap, and as you can see, the bottom one there is a true Father Fish dirted tank with the sand cap as well. That tank there is about 2.5 months old, and look at the plant growth. It's just like crazy. It's incredible. And then you go up here, this is the initial. We'll see how things turn out. We'll give it a month or 2, plus I'm going to be adding some more plants as I need to go find some and buy some or whatever and get some plants going in here. Anyway, there we go. That's my initial setup. Have a great one. Alright folks, so this is an update from my 29-gallon new Oreo Cookie 2. I'm pre-treating these plants that are coming out of my one tank that I do have snails in, so I don't want to bring snails into this tank. So I'm treating them with alum, and I'm going to soak them in there for about 4 hours and then rinse them off real good, and then probably let them soak for another couple hours before I actually throw them into the tank. But this is the next day. Sorry about the glare, but that's what the tank looks like. It's a little hazy, but that's to be expected at first, and we're getting there slowly but surely. I did order some crypts and some other plants from Aquarium Co-op, so hopefully I'll see them get here early next week or maybe this weekend, who knows, with the holiday and everything, but we'll know. Anyway, so that's my most recent update for this as we're going through the progress. I'm going to make one video. It's just going to be one big long video from start to finish, and once I get all the plants in, then I'll post the video. I may change my mind and post it earlier, but I don't know. Anyway, this is Oreo cookie number 2, and of course Oreo cookie number 1. These are both Father Fish tanks. Let me back up here and you can see. So these are both true Father Fish tanks. with the father fish dirt substrate, and then the sand cap. And the bottom one has fish and shrimp in it. The top one right now, like I say, does not have anything in it but just the water, the plants. I pulled plants from my 40 breeder, that big Java fern or whatever that big tall plant is. I think it's a Java fern. And a little bit of guppy grass that I had in there. There's an Anubias in there, and I pulled some jungle val out of my 40 breeder, like a 6 strand of it, and just pulled it up. And then I've got a tissue culture. I don't even remember what the kind of plant it is up there, but that's that little one that's sitting right there in the glare. That was some sort of tissue culture plant. So anyway, that's where we're at for so far. All right, folks, so this is the father fish dirted Oreo cookie number 2. It is now done. I've got all the plants that I ordered in, and the tank is done. It's been up and running. I actually have some shrimp in here and some guppies, and so this is the finale of resetting it up after the disaster of when I had it outside and used compost, and we ended up with a green nightmare, and then it turned into a what do you call it, a tea colored tank. It just wasn't working, so I redid it, and this is with the father fish soil underneath, some white sand on top of that, and then some black sand on top of that, and this is the beginning of it. So it's a week old, and the plants will grow in pretty good, I'm sure, at some point. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit and see what's happening. See if we can see the fish. There's a shrimp right there, dropping down in there. I don't know where there's 4 baby guppies in here somewhere. There's one right there. He's over there on the other side of that plant leaf, hiding. There is another shrimp right there, swimming. So some of these plants, so these little small things here, I don't remember what it was called, but that is a tissue culture. And then there's another tissue culture right there with a cryptocorn, and there's another crypt, and another one. This is a bigger one that I got today, and I put some guppy grass in there. Oh, and speaking of guppies, there's one right there on the thing. There's one. So, like I say, tank is looking good. I bought this little bitty filter. It's tiny. I mean, it's like, you see my hand? It's about as big as my fingers. And I bought it because the tank was kind of cloudy at first. So I bought that little thing. It was like $8 on Amazon. And it has a little cartridge in there. I took the cartridge out, tore it apart, and just shoved, what do you call it? Dang, I can't even think of it. Just filter floss, basically. And just filter the water. And it's done a pretty good job. And it has a spray bar, which is pretty cool. It has a little bitty spray bar on there. So, kind of like it. For $8, can't complain. And also, once again, I use seeds in here. I don't know why my phone is not letting me zoom. There we go. And unzoom. But you see the seeds that are wrapped around things. Eventually they'll start hatching and growing plants. So it's just a matter of time, but we're looking good. Finally, we're ready.